Fighting games are live service games now. So why are they so bad at it? This is Marvel Rivals, not a fighting game. It's a live service hero shooter game. The game is free, the characters are free, the stages are free. This is Street Fighter 6, fighting game. A $60 game where you buy additional characters and you buy additional stages. Let's compare what live service should look like to what fighting games are actually doing with live service. This is the current character roster in Marvel Rivals, and NetEase adds a new character and a new stage every 2 months for free. Every character you see here is free, the stages are free, the whole game is free. This is what the game looks like for anyone that switches it on and starts playing. Now let's quickly compare that to Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 costs $60 on release, and about a third of the characters on this roster page that you're looking at are DLC characters that cost additional $30 per season. Stages also cost additional money. In fact, this is what the game looks like for you if you don't buy those season passes. Notice how much smaller the roster is? You lose access to about a third of the roster if you don't buy any DLC, so right away, not everyone is playing the same game. I can't even imagine the backlash if Marvel Rivals release White Fox or Black Cat or any other character as a paid DLC. But this has become the norm in the fighting game genre. In fighting games, the characters are the gameplay, and they're selling those unique gameplay options separately as DLC in a competitive experience. Just think about that for a moment. Let's check out the Battle Pass and the character costumes. So to buy the Battle Pass, you'll have to use the special live service in-game currency stuff, which costs real money. And I don't like the in-game currency for real money thing, but at least I can exchange for the exact amount of in-game currency that I need. Notice the amounts here. 100 for $1, 500 for $5, 1000 for $10. If you purchase larger amounts, they throw in a few extra, but the conversions are straightforward and you can spend exactly what's required to purchase what you want. Well, what can you purchase in Marvel Rivals? Let's start with the in-game cash shop. So these are the skins. They look pretty good, high quality stuff. The skins come with emotes, an MVP, win animation, and other things. Yeah, they can be a little bit expensive at $22 for the newest ones, but considering the whole game is free, it doesn't feel bad to buy a skin for $20. And some of these skins are pretty elaborate. This one is for Cloak and Dagger. It's the same character that you saw before, and it's more than just a skin. It changes some of the sound effects and part of the UI, and even the ultimate ability animation gets a small change, but ultimately it's just cosmetics. They're not selling gameplay or characters. Here's the Battle Pass in Marvel Rivals. It costs $10 and it's a standard Battle Pass. You play through these little missions and level up through the pass, unlocking new skins and emotes and stuff like that for your heroes, animations and things like that. Now let's check out the Street Fighter 6 equivalents. We'll start with the Street Fighter 6 in-game currency. Notice the amounts you can actually purchase. 250, 610, 1250, 2750. Why are these numbers so weird? Oh, because nothing in the store actually costs those amounts. You literally cannot buy the exact amount that you need. You either don't have enough or you're forced to overpay. That's not an accident. Let's look at the Battle Pass. How much does this thing cost? 250 fighter coins, so that's $5 of real money, and let's see what's in it. Notice there are no new costumes for characters, no emotes, nothing to really get excited about. Probably the best thing in the Battle Pass would be the music. Contrast that with Marvel Rivals, where you're unlocking new skins, new emotes, new win animations, emojis, backgrounds, nameplates, and all kinds of stuff. Do you see the difference between what live service games offer compared to what fighting games are doing? Up until now, I've only talked about monetization, but live service doesn't just affect your wallet. It affects how the game actually plays, and I want to shift into how live service negatively affects the actual gameplay in fighting games. Gameplay aside from being able to actually play all of the actual characters on all of the actual stages. So for that, I'm going to talk about balance patches. In Marvel Rivals, a balance patch can bring big or small changes to any character in the game, but none of the characters are so complex that you'll need to practice for more than like 20 minutes or so in a practice lobby and then jump into a practice match to learn how to play the character. The characters will get more or less effective, but you'll still know how to play your character regardless of mouse and buttons. In fighting games, the characters are a lot more complex. A balance patch will change how your character does combos, how special moves work. It can turn matchups on their head or make existing matchups worse. Imagine learning a character for 50 plus hours, learning the combos, the setups, the frame data, matchups, and then a balance patch just nerfs part of your kit, changes combo routes, shifts around frame data, changes your character's matchups. It causes that just wait for the balance patch kind of mentality in fighting games. Like, why bother spending dozens of hours in a training room learning how to deal with a troublesome matchup when you could just wait for a balance patch to nerf the matchup instead? Why invest 50 plus hours learning a character if a patch can completely rewrite them overnight? I talked about this a bit in my last video on this topic, live service sucks for fighting games, which you can find here, but I want to elaborate on it because the concept of balance patches just doesn't work for fighting games. We need the permanence of knowing this is what the game is when we buy it, so that we can invest our time in learning the game without the lingering feeling of the time we invested to learn the game is just being wasted because a balance patch is going to change it all anyway. I previously quit playing Guilty Gear Strive because of the balance patches. As a Millia main, I learned the hard way that it was pretty much pointless to get good at fighting one version of Potemkin because he'd just get buffed in the next patch, making the matchup worse for Millia each time. It got to the point where they buffed Potemkin yet again and added Wild Assault, and I just gave up on it and switched to playing a different fighting game. Apparently they're rolling back some of that stuff, those changes in Strive 2.0. We'll see, but I think you can understand the frustration of people who quit playing fighting games because a balance patch just ruined some aspect of the game for them. In the olden days, pre-Street Fighter 4, fighting games released sequels when they wanted to change things. So if you loved how Mai Shiranui played in King of Fighters 13, but you didn't like the changes in King of Fighters 14, you could choose to just keep playing King of Fighters 13. I main Cammy in Street Fighter 6. I loved how Cammy played in Season 1. I'm completely bored with how they've changed her by the time we've gotten to Season 3. I can't go back to playing Season 1, I don't have that option. My only option is to just not play the game because they've changed it too much from what I liked when I first bought it. And this is exactly what a lot of people do when it comes to fighting games. They just stop playing when their efforts are completely invalidated by a balance patch or a series of patches that changes the game too much from what they liked when they first bought the game. I don't think this genre is suited for live service. It's not like we have dedicated game servers to connect to anyway. I haven't even gotten into how live service games usually have dedicated servers for everyone to play on, whereas fighting games rely on peer-to-peer connections. If you've tried out Guilty Gear Strive's Team of 3 mode, this is why it's so laggy. It's trying to connect peer-to-peer to peer-to-peer to peer-to-peer to peer? Wait, how many times did I say peer? So it's trying to connect peer-to-peer among 6 different people, instead of just having everyone connect to the game's dedicated server. And this is most likely why Street Fighter 6 doesn't have matchmaking for its team battle mode either. I think the fighting game genre is much better suited for annual or biannual updates in the form of new releases. The FGC used to get so hyped every time a new BlazBlue was announced, and there was a new BlazBlue game almost every year from 2008 to 2015 when the last BlazBlue came out. Guilty Gear is another great example. The first Guilty Gear game came out back in 1998, and there's been a new Guilty Gear game just about every 2 years since then, with the exception being the gap between Revelator 2 and Strive's release. I think that was about 4 years. King of Fighters. King of Fighters is another IP that was known for its annual game releases. From 1994 to 2012, there was a new King of Fighters game every single year. And in my opinion, King of Fighters didn't start to suck until they started using 3D character models in King of Fighters 14 and transitioned into live service along with the rest of the fighting game genre around 2016. I love fighting games. I've played them my entire life, and that's exactly why it sucks to see the entire genre poorly mimicking live service games without even delivering what live service is supposed to be. And the players are the ones paying for it. The current fighting game genre is giving us all the negatives of live service and none of the positives. I don't think this genre is really capable of delivering a good live service experience, which is why fighting games are so bad at live service.
You told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.